A cold, rainy evening in a small town. The sound of raindrops hits the pavement as a thin, frail puppy, barely a few weeks old, stumbles along the side of the road. His fur is matted, his paws weak from hunger and exhaustion. The streets are empty, and the dim glow of streetlights offers little comfort. The puppy, abandoned and alone, looks around in confusion, unable to find his way. His small body shivers not just from the cold but from the fear of being left behind. But the world doesn't seem to care. No one stops to help. A woman in her 30s, dressed in a raincoat, walks down the street. She notices the tiny figure huddled near a dumpster. Her heart stops as she approaches. "Oh my God," she murmurs, kneeling down. The puppy's eyes are wide, filled with confusion and pain. He lets out a weak whimper, unable to move much more. The woman's instincts kick in. Without hesitation, she scoops the puppy up in her arms, careful not to hurt him further. "You poor thing," she whispers, her voice filled with sorrow. She takes him home, wrapping him in a warm blanket, and starts the long process of caring for him. The woman, named Sarah, spends weeks nursing the puppy back to health. She takes him to the vet for checkups, feeds him nutritious food, and gives him all the love she has to offer. Slowly, the puppy starts to grow stronger. His once dull fur begins to shine, and his eyes brighten with a newfound energy. Sarah names him Max. Max is an energetic puppy now, always following Sarah around the house, wagging his tail whenever she's nearby. He's no longer the weak, sickly creature she found that night. He's strong, playful, and happy. As the months go by, Sarah notices that Max has something special about him. He's extremely intelligent, quick to learn, and unusually perceptive. Sarah decides to take him to a local dog trainer, just to see what Max is capable of. It doesn't take long for the trainer to recognize Max's potential. He's not just any dog. He's a natural. "Sarah, you've got something here. This dog is special," the trainer says after a few sessions. "He's got the instincts of a working dog, maybe even a police dog." Sarah is taken aback. "A police dog? But he's just a puppy." The trainer nods. "Well, there's only one way to find out. Why don't we see if he has what it takes?" Max begins formal training. At first he's unsure, like any other dog would be. But Sarah and the trainers quickly realize that Max has an uncanny ability to pick up on commands, respond to training, and even sense when something isn't quite right. Max becomes a highly trained K9 unit, excelling in sniffing out drugs, locating missing persons, and performing search and rescue operations. But he's more than just a police dog. He's a companion, a protector, and a hero in the making. It's a crisp, sunny morning when Sarah receives the call. There's been a robbery at a nearby convenience store. The suspect has fled into the woods, and the police need Max's help. "Are you sure he's ready for this?" Sarah asks, nervous. "I've never seen a dog with his instincts, Sarah." "He's ready," the officer on the phone assures her. Sarah nods, her heart racing. She grabs Max's harness and heads to the scene. Max is on the case. As Sarah and the team enter the woods, Max's nose is to the ground, sniffing out every trace of the suspect. His ears are alert, his body tense, and his focus unbreakable. The officers follow closely behind, watching as Max leads them through the dense forest, weaving around trees and rocks with precision. Then suddenly Max stops. His nose twitches. He looks up, eyes fixed on something in the distance. He begins to growl, a low, steady rumble that sends a chill through the air. "Wait here," Sarah commands, motioning for the team to stay back. She follows Max, who charges forward, running with a purpose. After a few moments, Max comes to a stop. There, in the clearing, is the suspect, crouched low and trying to hide. The man's eyes widen in shock as Max approaches him with confidence. Without hesitation, Max lunges, pinning the suspect to the ground, his teeth bared. The officers rush in, arresting the man, but not before Max gives one last growl, making sure the situation is under control. The media catches wind of Max's heroic actions. He becomes an overnight sensation. Pictures of Max, the brave police dog, flood social media, and news outlets can't get enough of his story. But Sarah knows there's more to Max than just the headlines. "He's not just a hero to the world," Sarah says, looking down at Max. "He's my best friend. He's the dog I saved when no one else would." Over the years, Max continues to serve alongside Sarah. He's called to numerous emergency situations, saving lives and making a difference wherever he goes. He's not just a dog, he's a legend in the force. Max's bond with Sarah grows deeper. They share a connection that goes beyond the working relationship of handler and canine. They are a team family. One day, after a particularly tough mission, Max is lying by Sarah's side, his head resting on her lap. She gently strokes his fur, tears welling up in her eyes. "You've been through so much," Sarah whispers. "You've changed my life, Mac." And in that moment, Sarah realizes that she isn't the only one who has been saved. Max too has found his purpose. And in this life, sometimes that's all that matters. A few years later, Sarah receives the call that no handler ever wants to hear. Max is getting older. His health is declining and his work in the field is coming to an end. He's retired from active duty, but the love and admiration he's earned from everyone around him will never fade. On his last day of service, Sarah and Max walk through the police station. Officers salute them as they pass, acknowledging the incredible legacy Max has built. As Sarah places the retirement badge on Max's collar, she smiles, knowing that, despite everything, Max will always be her hero. Max is back at home with Sarah, enjoying his golden years. No longer working as a police dog, he's living a peaceful life, playing with Sarah's children and lounging in the sun. He still watches over them, protective as ever, but now he has time to relax. And though the story of the weak, abandoned puppy who became a hero is over, his legacy lives on in the hearts of everyone who knew him. Max wasn't just a dog. He was a symbol of hope, resilience, and the power of second chances. As the sun sets, Max rests his head on Sarah's lap, content. The journey may have been long and challenging, but in the end it was worth it.